Hi everyone, Gianni Di Poce here with you for TheoTrade, and today is Tuesday, June 9th, 2026. Well, stocks are dealing with another round of volatility today, but I want to spend some time talking about one, why it's way too late to panic, and two, why the conditions for a bottom have already presented themselves. Now, that doesn't mean that the low is complete because we could still see another lower low tomorrow or later this week, especially going into the very important inflation numbers tomorrow. Let's not forget that we're coming off a stronger than expected jobs report, putting the Fed in an even more hawkish position. And so if inflation comes in hot tomorrow, it's going to put a lot of pressure on them, especially before the midterms. I don't think that they would have the audacity to raise rates before the midterms, but after the midterms, I think all bets are on the table. So this could also be the correction associated with the testing of a new Fed chairman. And so the Nasdaq, actually, take a look here. The Nasdaq has dropped over 8% in 4 days here, guys. So let's not forget that we are also not even 3 months removed from the last double-digit correction. We have not made a significant lower low or a significant lower high throughout this decline. And my friend and colleague, Professor Bierman, summarized it excellent in an excellent way yesterday. He said the momentum is broken, the trend has not. So I do have to be devil's advocate here and say that we did take out this low from May 19th. I'm not all too concerned about it just yet, but you can see that we did bounce nicely off the lows of the day. How we go into the closing bell will be very important, so we'll have to watch that very carefully. You are seeing the unwind in semiconductors and technology continue here so far, but I'm going to also show why other areas of the market are leading me to believe that perhaps tomorrow inflation's report might be at estimates. I'm not going to say it's going to come in below estimates, but maybe the market's already pricing it in. Of course, there was that announcement of a helicopter getting shot down over near Iran, and supposedly we're about to have a response. But you look at other areas of the market, it doesn't seem like we're reacting too much uh, to that headline yet. So, chips being down, NASDAQ being down more, that is generally a cautionary signal for me. But you take a look here at XLK, you have not taken out that low from May 19th there. But I do want to bring your attention to the most important stocks in the market, and that is the Magnificent 10, the 10 stocks that make up over 40% of the S&P, because check this out right here. What did we just do today? All we did was simply retest former resistance, turn support of the breakout from back in late April. Now, why does that matter? Well, we'll actually look at the Mag 7 ETF in this case, and you'll see how we did something very similar back at the March low from earlier this year. We just retested the former resistance, turn support of the breakout from back in the summer of 2025. So now you haven't really fully broken out, at the Mag 7 level here. You're still congesting in this resistance zone. I think this is a very logical area for buyers to step back into the picture, compounded by the fact that you saw record put volume in the S&P and the Qs on Friday. People are buying insurance after the disaster already happened. Insurance doesn't do you good then. Okay. You have to be positioned in advance. So I think between the record put volume, between last week still having more bears than bulls across various sentiment surveys, you better believe there's going to be even more bears this week after an 8% correction in the NASDAQ after 4 days. I think above everything else, it's not even so much about being bullish, it's about not being bearish. Okay, because the trend is still up. You haven't, broken anything structurally. There's now a sentiment reset. There's a momentum reset. There's all sorts of resets going on at the options level. And let's not forget also, guys, you have the contract roll in the futures market this Friday, big options expiration next Friday. There is simply some profit taking going on. Okay. It's been a historic rally, especially in semiconductors and tech over the last 3 months. A little bit of profit taking is completely normal and to be expected. So again, too late to panic. I think there's a lot of opportunity for those that are calm, cool, and collected in this environment. Obviously, I want to see how we close. I want to see the inflation report tomorrow. There's all this talk about the SpaceX IPO sucking money out of the market. Well, here's the correction, guys. This is what we were looking for, right? If we were looking for SpaceX and I guess Anthropic, they're filing for their IPO here soon. If we're looking for all of those companies that are going to suck money out of the market, well, it's going to be recycled, isn't it? So keep that in mind. I do want to bring your attention also to crude oil and bonds because I have been looking for crude oil to drop to $75, $80 a barrel. We did take out that low from the end of May. Earlier today, we did bounce off of that headline about the helicopter getting shot down earlier today. But the big thing for me is how bonds are bid. Okay, crude oil is down. And this is kind of a flip from what we've seen recently. In the recent past, we've seen, bonds are up, stocks are up, bonds are down, stocks are down. There's been a lot of positive correlation between the two asset classes. But I do want you to understand something and something very clearly. The dollar is up against the yen, but it is down against the euro. Okay, it's not up, it's not down much against the euro, but the euro is still bid on the day. Not to mention, the dollar against the yen is very overbought and could easily see a pullback. Maybe it's inflation report tomorrow. Maybe it's another BOJ intervention. We will see. But I need you to understand something. The dollar is not ripping higher right now. It's not exploding to the upside. There is not a concerted flight to safety taking place. Okay. And you go back and look at history. Every time there's a serious bear market that's starting or underway or a serious correction, the dollar gets a massive bid. Now, you could say, oh, hey, well, the dollar's up against the yen over the last month. And I'd say, sure. And you could even say, oh, hey, the dollar's up against the euro over the last 6 weeks. And I'd say, sure, but what if we're bottoming now? What if we're bottoming now? Because again, similar to stocks, the conditions are here in the euro for a bottom. So watch that. A lot of it has to do with crude oil coming down. Don't you think that crude oil would have been up more after that headline, earlier today about the helicopter if we were about to see another serious escalation? I think we cannot forget that this is still a midterm year. They're going to do everything in their power to get gas prices lower, meaningfully a few months before the midterms. We're about 5 months away now. So I think you'll see oil hit $75, $80 a barrel, maybe the next few weeks, sometime this summer. That would lower rates. That creates an even greater tailwind for the areas of the market that need to rally to rally. Tech's already done it, but you're looking at other sectors like consumer discretionary, which is up today. Another sector that has been completely dead money over the last few years, real estate. Why are REITs rallying today? REITs rallying. I'm not even trading this. I'm observing this to reach important conclusions about other areas of the market. REITs are rallying. They're about to close at their highest level in, a year and a half off of the threat of higher interest rates and higher inflation near term. I don't see it that way. I do think eventually, crude oil is going to bottom and it's going to rip higher again. But right now, the market is reacting seemingly to lower interest rates. Okay, even financials holding up all right. They're up on the day. And the one that really has my attention right now is healthcare. There's some nice setups in that space too. So a lot of the high beta stocks coming on sale right now. If you have the courage to act, look at the risk reward, know your risk tolerance, know your time horizon. But this is really just another, in my view, great dip buying opportunity. When the time comes, many are, scared to act and actually seize the moment. Well, we're here. We're here. Again, the Nasdaq dropped over 8% in 4 days. Escalator up, elevator down in bull markets. Bull markets spend more time rallying than dropping, and we're seeing that play out once again today. So that's what I have for today, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope to see you in the trade desk, and talk to you soon.